You know what I like most about this episode? It's pretty much right after a big war episode, focusing almost entirely on character interactions. We see some good parallels between Luminara and Skywalker, and Ahsoka and, I can't remember her name right now, the Padawan. Now, I also happen to like the performances on display, but what I like most is the fact that, well, I don't think they did this on purpose, but this episode seems to be showcasing, kind of, for lack of a better way to put it, the gray mentality. We see both positives and negatives of both types of interactions. We see Ahsoka and Skywalker literally arguing with each other, and him babying her. I mean, just being a dick during that briefing. And yet we also see that he is willing to try far harder to rescue her, and she is willing to try far harder to be rescued. And both of them obviously care about each other a great deal. Similarly, in Luminara's side, she gets along with her Padawan much better. They have a far more professional and working relationship going on. But at the same time, she made no particular efforts to try and save her Padawan, just accepting that it was over. And her Padawan made no particular effort to do anything about it, just accepting death. It's just kind of an interesting dynamic because, in my opinion, and admittedly, I'm biased, but I think they were showcasing how both sides are inaccurate in their own way. How both sides have parts of the whole, but not the entire whole. Like, you feel me? So, obviously, Anakin is showcasing some of the dark side mentality here. Refusal to let go. I will not allow Ahsoka to die. I will do everything in my power to save her. Which is emotional, aggressive, and arguably selfish. Whereas Luminara was more like, I will mourn her passing, but I will accept it, and I will embrace, the life that she lived, and blah, 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 blah. That kind of a thing. More of a, well, I don't want to call it Zen, so let's just call it more of a Jedi perspective. And I like that. I like this character focus we get in this episode. It is, again, another step in Anakin Skywalker's journey. The idea that Anakin can eventually turn to the dark side is made all the more believable when you have steps like this. Don't mistake me, I loved Episode 3, parts of Episode 3. But I still hold it as among my favorite Star Wars films. And yet, the fact that Anakin pretty much just goes from being the dutiful Padawan to joining the dark side has always bothered me. And that's one of the things I was always grateful to the Clone Wars for showing us this character arc for Anakin Skywalker. I mean, he's no Arthas, but, So next week we'll be continuing. Next day? I have no idea when these are going live. I record a whole bunch in advance, and then I set them up for, the coming week. So I have no idea when this is going live, so either tonight or tomorrow morning, I'll see you when we continue to show another side of this particular story arc, when we enter the horror elements, which will be interesting. Anyways, see you around, guys.